I kind of feel like the Broodmother has a very good chance of just overrunning this lane when she gets her levels.
I think it's a very, very risky pick. Dazzle, obviously, a lot of synergy with the Naga, has laning potential at killing heroes, but against Brood, it's different.
I mean, if Brood is successful at gaining her levels, I think she can actually just destroy the lane.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the backup of a Shaker, Elina with the port, just whatever backup he gets from his teammates, and they're gonna completely destroy the safe lane of MVP Phoenix. And we also get a Quab versus Lina matchup. That's not the best matchup at all.
Storm Spirit.
That's probably a Storm safe lane.
Yeah, I think this is going to be on How as well. I agree with you.
Tough game for MVP Phoenix. That's how I see it.
Okay, draft is over. It's time for game time in game number 2 as we head back down to the arena with Toby1 and Synderen.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's welcome it back for game number 2. VG Gaming versus MVP. The draft is done, Sind, and it looks like VG Gaming are in a very comfortable position.
This Brood is going to be a really, really big problem. The moment MVP picked the Naga, I was like, okay, they're picking Brood. They actually took a lot of time to do it. I'm not sure if they were considering alternatives or if they just forgot about the Brood themselves and they were like, wait, we could get Brood, and they just immediately went for it. But this is the kind of game, just like, I can't remember if it was Winter or Matt who said it, but this is the game where Brood can just completely take over the game. If they do not shut down Ice here, this could end up being a very one-sided game, which would, of course, be a big shame. The last game was pretty close and very exciting. Generally, Brood has a tendency to sometimes just run over games and other games be fairly weak. I feel like it's pretty rare you see a Broodmother be like, okay. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see here. Now, that said, if MVP get off to a good laning stage and they get a farmed Naga, I don't see VG having very good counters to the split push of the Naga either. They have the Storm that can pick her off, but if you just keep sending farmed illusions out, they don't have the best illusion clearing heroes. So that's the win condition for MVP. They have to go super late.
Let's see if they can do it. For me, I'm questioning if it is going to be possible on this bot lane. These 2 sentry wards which have been brought down by the Dazzle are going to be needed to keep Broodmother out, but it's Ice's Broodmother. He's got so much experience with his hero, and he sees things coming from a mile away, putting the webs over the jungle, and his micro is fantastic on the Spiderlings. He'll always see when an MVP player will rotate down. I'm very skeptical to see if Naga is capable of finding that farm, and then what farm does she go? Like, is this one of these games where you say, I need to have a Radiant split push? Is that what you have to look for from this core Naga?
Yeah. That question is how many build-up items he goes. These days, when you play Core Naga, you very, very rarely see Core Naga played without Radiance. It is possible to do a combat build with Man's Diffusal, but I would not advise it in this game. Most of the time we see Bottle, Aquila, or one of those two, and then into, I think a new trend has been getting Arcane Boots, because you can disassemble it later into Octarine Core. So maybe that build-up for
super
could be a thing.
Take more aggression, but QO actually locked in here. He doesn't have a blink to get out of this one. And now, running around the corners, the first blood, it goes the way of Super. The paralyzing cast gave MVP more confidence to go on Super, because it bounced straight back up to the Lina and not to the creep wave, and that is not the start MVP needed. You have just given levels to a Lina mid.
Yeah, she's level 2.5 against the level 1.5 of Duo, so a full level advantage. Of course, there are... Actually, no. There are not more creeps for Kuro to claim here. So this is a full level advantage, more or less, for Super. Not the start they needed.
No, they needed to have a nice, comfortable laning phase. Lina being low on farm. Even Ice, he's not level 2. But slowly and surely he's going to find these levels. A big creep wave went down for KP underneath the tower. He's doing a good job of finding a lot of the last hits down there too. Meanwhile, on top lane, we have to keep in mind this Clockwork, a really great initiator, a great rotation hero. And if you're looking for someone that can gank up the Brood, he'll be one of them. A hook shot in with Dust. QO again, he'll blink himself away, but that Fissure, the Earthshaker, always there at the right time to cause issues for this Queen of Pain. And March, don't get too close on that. But at least he knows the Earthshaker's not going to harass him out. In fact, we're just watching Fenrir decide to stack up inside the Dire jungle. They're getting prepared to also flash farm up the Lina.
This is a very, we're 2 minutes in, but it's it's a worrying situation for MVP because they don't have very good aggressive ganking supports. Dazzle and Witch Doctor together have pretty minimal kill potential, so I think the Lina mid for Super is going to feel very safe and very confident in playing aggressively, especially when Fenrir backs him up. That means we could be looking at a situation where Vici Gaming could be winning all 3 lanes simply because Hao will definitely win top against Clockwork. It's a very easy matchup for the Storm Spirit. The mid lane is going splendidly for them. And the bottom lane, currently the Naga is of course out farming the Brood right here in the start, but Ice is finding levels. That's what it's all about in the beginning for Brood. Find your level 5, that's when your lane really starts snowballing for you. And the good news for Naga is of course she has 8 armor. That is very, very valuable against this hero.
So Ice won't be just out to harass her down, but as you said, Ice is just waiting for his levels, moving up, and then we'll pick up something on the lines of having that Soul Ring. He's already got the recipe in his inventory. And once he's picked up that Soul Ring... Wow, are they going again? Alba salve up. Nux was in the neighborhood, but... Super... You can't keep letting this happen. Because you're sitting at a point right now as Alina where the level 6 is rapidly approaching. So you drop down low like this and you're Laguda to death. The status quo will not remain this way.
Look at how far up he's playing. He's playing 1-on-2. Now the Shaker rotates in, but until then...
Fair shots, Flash Strike Array, QO! Barely blinking away in time. A little bit of harassment on Super. And that cast can keep bouncing all at once. Super's still got bottle charges, and with a slave QO! Down to 17 life.
If he hadn't missed that uphill attack, he didn't miss, right?
No, I'm fairly certain they're connected.
His attack connected?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if that was a miss, it would have been a kill for sure. It's like 15 health on the Queen of Pain once again. So she's forced back to base. This is a very difficult laning stage for QO, a player who we've seen generally in MVP's games do very, very well in lane. Last game with the Slark, he played up evenly against Alina. We saw him against VP yesterday, I think it was, with the incredible TA performance. Was that the VP series? No, that was against Empire 2 days ago, I think, where his Templar assessment was incredible. But he is really far behind, and this is a different game situation than what he's used to.
It really is. And the hope still rests with the Naga Siren. Ice actually helped that a little bit. Naga's now on top of the CS board. So that's only because he keeps getting this Riptide on the little broodlings that are walking close. So KP's getting some extra cash into a Naga, a very dangerous situation for VG. But FY, I can't get in range for the lift over on March. So he'll walk away to safety. How's the stacks looking? So there's triple stacks inside the jungle for the Lina. And she can move up and farm that in just a couple of moments' time. The Fissure, looking for the block, the Light Strike Array again, QO. Wow. He's living life on the edge.
A quarter of a second every time from dying. That also means it's a little bit of mistiming from Vici Gaming, actually, because that combo isn't too difficult to land. It's a 1-second stun. Of course, they need to try to conceal it as much the best they can with Super not going in way too aggressively, but they're probably a little bit disappointed they haven't killed this comp more than once, because they've had a chance or two.
But what they have done is just keep a CS at absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You're 11-4 up against Alina 26-6. That's a lot to play around with right there for the Lina. And QO, he's just so scared of coming close to the lane. And rightly so. He keeps dying when he does. Or at least coming close to dying. Looks like March is moving all the way back too. That creep wave's way too far out. So he's backing up to regenerate. But there's no quick way in. There's no hook shot yet. He's still just shy of level 4.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ice is level 6.5. It's a big experience and gold advantage.
Is he coming down for this kill? If he hangs on the back of KP here, Spawn Spiraling's got another 5 seconds, so we won't find the opening there.
This lane is over if it's 1-on-1. This is what I was saying. They could win all 3 lanes, and I'm saying that as the Naga has 46 CS against the 22 of Ice. But he can out-farm the Naga. He can spam her out of lane, he can farm the jungle with the Broodlings, and it's a pretty rough spot for MVP. They're probably going to have to keep at least one support pinned down there just to help the Naga Siren.
But QO seems to be needing all the support with Fenrir and Super with this combo. Even if they're not buying the kills, they're keeping MVP's attention towards that mid lane. And there's no real reaction that you can have from MVP that's going to really stop Brood, because if you move down for him, all he's going to do is just hide in the tree line. Or move into the Radiant jungle. He'll always be away. QO again, blinking out. Nuts comes in with a cast. It's going to bounce a little bit, but really QO, he's at a point where he's actually relying on Voodoo Restoration, so he doesn't have to burn the bottle charges he's got. just so he can stand in the lane. At least he can find CS underneath this tower. With Super having a double damage rune and Laguna Blade up. It's a dangerous, dangerous world.
They're moving in 2 defensive supports with heals here, just to save QO. It's so easy playing the side lanes for VG Gaming right now. There's absolutely no pressure on them whatsoever. Ice 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 can do whatever he wants bottom. How is just free farming top.
They've actually moved Ice. So Ice has gone deeper into the Radiant jungle. Just say the normal phrase of like, okay, they've moved the Broodmother into the jungle, you'd think it's on the Dire side. He can just take over the Radiant side, and they give FY the space on bot lane to find his level 6, as well as probably Arcane, Blink Dagger, whatever his heart desires, he should be able to get it. They're preparing again for mid. But there's not enough mana in the leader. Only 4 1 charges, that's not going to be enough to have a Laguna Blade as well as a Slave.
He's getting a haste rune now though. It's going to be pretty helpful.
That'll do the job.
And Ice 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 is looking to try to steal the enemy stack. He's not really managing very well.
It's difficult when your Spirelings are so weak. At least up against such a big stack. And QO, they're realizing that something's happening around here and that Ice 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 is around. At the same time, FY has moved in. Well done, Ice. Centaurs don't like it when multiple units are around. He's actually using his insatiable hunger to do this. The Clockwork Rocket's helping to scout out what's happening.
He actually got the last hit with the rocket too. Ice 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 didn't really get much out of that. Maledict, level 1. Not really sure what that was about.
Maybe he thought Broodmother was walking towards him.
Oh, fair enough, but it deals like 0 damage when...
Ice 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 is going to get this kill. Spawn Spiderlings. Witch Doctor was just being chipped down. They throw down a sentry ward so at least they can see the Spiderlings. Nice Ice Ice caught in the cliff for the moment. Now he walks out, but FY is still here. And MVP, to protect the stack, they bring 4 heroes into the lane. Now Fenrir has chopped the space on bot lane. FY, what did he actually steal? He stole Riptide, level 4.